Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Nikolai and we are continuing episode 3 of our Solargene playthrough. Last we left off, we had just gotten our base set up on the moon, and we were getting ready to load the game without these mods, yes. And we were getting ready to expand upon that in order to make it our full hub and maintain the rest of our playthrough. We also have some contracts that we need to pay off. So the goal today is going to be to pay off all of our contract debt, all of our loan debt. Definitely going to get some of these contracts going. A science colony is a very nice payout, 270 mil. So yeah, today is going to be all about contracts. It'll be about expanding the moon hub and paying off our loans. I've got some plans in order to deep dive into the warehouse parameters and how you can really make it work for you to set up a base to kind of have a little bit of intelligence to how it processes. And you could do all of that just within the warehouse parameters by setting certain things higher than others, using the discard excess option. I have experimented with that quite a lot, and it really does come in handy for a lot of things, especially for your dirty water. You no longer have to set, these kinds of numbers, 10 million on your storage for it in order to keep it from, capping out. So, yeah, lots of good information, tips, and deep dives planned for today. So let's get into it and get started. Let's jump right in. All right, Moon Hub. First of all, I want to check our transitor. Soil. That is because of our engines. Which, at the moment, the nuclear engines were just to bring us to here, so we can get rid of these, I believe. I can honestly get rid of all of those maneuvering thrusters as well. Kind of downsize it a little bit. And we're good. Okay, so the transitor is now perfect. Check on our Earth orbiter. Last time I do remember we forgot to feed them, which, whoopsie. Science isn't so bad. I mean, 15 points in engineering is really good. That's to get our recombination engines, and that's why we just got rid of the nuclear ones. We're going to move them over to recom soon. But we have until that time to get our moon hub ready to make recombination engines. So, I know last time we checked on these guys, we were fighting some, not comfort issues, but power and heating problems. Let's see, can we turn these all back on? No. Do we have the ability to generate more power? No. So we're just at the point where we need to just go back out and let it kind of do its thing. We're going to go through a night cycle. We should be, making more resources. That steel should be coming in as soon as the iron gets up. So it's really a hurry up and wait at this point. Yep, and there's our steel going. Now remember, before we do a contract on the moon, if we do any one of these contracts right away, we will lose the ability to sell helium to the moon. Now, helium... Wait, did we already settle on the moon? We did already settle on the moon. Okay. Further, I do know at some point we will lose the ability to sell to the moon. So the nice thing about it now is like we don't have to transfer it from moon to Earth in order to sell. Now on Earth, it does have, I believe, no, okay. So they just want helium-3 over here for right now. I know at some point helium-3 is going to end up being about 15,000 a piece rather than the 10,000 that it is over here on the moon. But we'll take full advantage of the 10,000 that it is right here. You know, our helium-3 will start going up. We just need to be able to expand a little bit more, get through our night cycle. This is going to be a good time for me to just kind of explain some of the warehouse parameters. So typically when I come in and I set up, and I am just setting up my, I'm so sorry. When I'm first setting up my colony, it kind of, you know, you come back into this warehouse parameters quite often. Soil ends up taking a lot of space. Now you will need it later, and you do need it in some crafts. So keep it kind of low, set the production to 500. It'll never store more than 500 at that point. Same thing if I go over to helium. If I set this down to 100, it'll never store more than 100. So on your production side, this is the maximum amount you want stored at any given time of that. At that point, if I were to collect 500 soil, I will no longer be collecting any more soil out of my mining units. For your consumption side, this is a little different. Consumption is how much you are allocating to that machine. So this is for the production of electronics, the lithographic equipment. If I say I always, no matter what, at all times, need to keep 200 soil in here, I would set the consumption rate to 200. And you can see it says limit reached. That means it will no longer be creating electronics until soil levels reach 200 or more. So consumption, you're setting the minimum that you require to begin production on that machine. Same thing for over here. And this is one of the ones that you're going to want to set. You never want to run out of polymers. You never want to run out of optics, all of this kinds of stuff, because these are what you require for maintenance. So you come in here, you set this at a low value, 1,000. You set this at an even lower value. Now we're not producing any. That's a problem. So we're going to need to keep it, you know, enough. We're going to need to keep this level low enough to where we have enough to continue repairs. If I were to put this at 1,000, we'd probably have less than a day of repairs left. I'm sorry. Scratch that. If I were to set this to 0 and let it continue just making electronics and burning polymers, I would probably not last the night. So we need to set this to 500, and we will at least reserve 500 polymers for repairs. We'll get a little bit further into this. That's kind of just the basics of how you want to set up your production versus your consumption side. The last thing I'll go over is oxygen. You want to make sure that you never burn all of your oxygen, because then your colonists die. So your first thing that you need to do when you start doing production is come in here and look at your consumption sides and leave a reserved amount of oxygen for your colonists. My minimum is always 5,000. That gives you a very nice buffer threshold to come in, make corrections, make sure that your oxygen doesn't go too low, anything like that. But for now, hydrocarbon burning will never take more than 5,000 oxygen. And then you see this is my 10 million. I'll tell you why. Because for the water electrolysis, it not only creates oxygen, it creates hydrogen. So I set my oxygen limit ridiculously high. Not that I want to burn enough water to make 10 million oxygen. I'm really going for the 100 hydrogen from this machine. Because when a machine produces more than one product, if you set one of its warehouse parameter limits to a production level that is low, once it meets one of those production limits, the whole entire machine stops. It will no longer continue producing. So I only use the water electrolysis machine to create hydrogen, minimum amounts. Puts us up to 100, I'm good. Then it stops. The oxygen that it creates is just kind of a bonus and gives you more oxygen time for your colonists. But that's enough about the warehouse parameters. We will get back into this a little later, but that's the basics. Our goal when we come into the day is to not only build our power buffer, but expansion. We need to start making polymers. We need to start doing optics. We need to do our own water production stuff down here, like all that kind of thing. Right now, yes, we have the option to send back and forth for the transitor, but you know, not exactly ideal. This is a good system at the start, but it does not last very long. It's very easy to forget to send up water or to send it back down. And then of course there is a little bit of waste between recycling dirty to pure, if you're not burning ice like we are not right now. So we do need some non-ferrous to continue repairs over on the Orbital. So let's get that back up. 110 days is good. Uh-oh. Is everything low temp? Yeah. Alright. So I do remember this being a problem right before we finished last time around, so let's hope we can bounce back before everybody gets sick. There we go. Alright, and we're gonna have to live in this menu for right now. It is now daytime. So let's try to... Okay, so we need more batteries. Let's see how much that gives us. Not a whole lot, but we're still pegging out our battery capacity by night, so we can just keep expanding our battery. And we're still going maxed, so expand our battery more. Still going max, let's expand our batteries more. Still hitting max, that's wonderful. And we're gonna stop right there because we don't have a whole lot of consumption yet, but watch this. Okay, just those two machines did not exactly take us all the way down yet. We're doing good, nobody got sick. So now it is time for the hospital and more mining. Specifically about twice the miners. And this is where I'm going to start building this is where I'm going to start expanding the build, because this is going to be the hub. So it will supply us forever. What is going to happen here is we're going to move our miners into their own hallway. And I don't mean this hallway. I call these halls a building. They're going to move into their own building. To do that, we're going to need the steel. We are making some. We're not making a whole lot. So the best thing to do would be, let's check how many more spaces we have. None. Beautiful. So we are going to need just a whole new room. Two. We can put our, let's do this. All right, and that's our start. 1, 2, 3 gives us 6. And we have 7 right now. So there is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. What I was just counting right there, which was entirely off, is just how many sides we have. 4, 8, so we have 16. If I wanted to just fill those with apartments, then I have 16 apartments that I can put in. Now, obviously they need their own toilets, showers, that kind of stuff, so that's going to take a little bit also. So now we have 14. They have a relax, they need a canteen. And other than living quarters now, that is it. Because the hospital becomes its own hall. Or building, what have you. So we're going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we need to make sure that we can fit 12 people. 1, 2. Each of these are 7 apiece. 14 total. Now, I would normally do about 1 extra than required, just to keep your queue kind of low. But we could do that as kind of like a little expansion in another expansion, or like the next time we expand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe that matches. That has 6. Wow. Really inefficient. But we're not far off from high tech, so I'm not too worried about it right now. As you can see, we're already starting to run out of steel. So we're going to have to go back out and just let us build some more right now. This is what we need. I need you peeps to get right there. I'm not mad about the water though. Now we're actually netting a positive amount of water because we are burning our ice finally. But we really need them to get over to there. Now, let's see, can we? No, because we've done nothing for them yet. So, I want to finish this hallway before it gets too far down in the cold, because the longer we wait, the longer we have to wait for it to come back up. That's not enough. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. Come on, iron. I'm just gonna put a large heater in here and call it a day. I don't really have too much room to play with polymers either, because again, we're not creating them. Alright, and I know we are getting very close to the polymer count, which is not good. So, keep this going. What's our polymer count now? 41. Yeah. We have to get that in there. We have to get the polymer production going. That. I'm hoping I can fit it right here, because you don't need an upstairs. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and then, like I said, you're gonna revisit this page a lot. Let's set that to 100. We'll set that to 50. Polymers, 1,000. Set this to 100. We'll set this to 50. No, we'll set this to 200. We'll set this to 100. And then remember, always want to save oxygen wherever you can. At least a certain amount of it. We're going to borrow some of the polymers and the electronics from our orbiter. Let's get that down here. And let's get more miners coming. So we have 5, 6, 7. We have 12 in here. We could do another 5. So we're going to double our hard rock mining capacity. We do want to push into helium H3. as soon as possible, but at the moment we still have a good decent amount of money. We're not spending a whole lot on purchasing because we're starting to make our own. So we have time, is essentially what I'm saying, to increase that production. And how many can go in here? 10. Wonderful. Let's start hiring more miners. I like smart people. Two. Ooh. You require a lot of comfort, though. Comfort requirements. You require... I'll take it. Learning speed. You know what? For that, you're already up there. I'll take it. And then you are cheerful. And you want to be cloned. Can you do hard rock mining? Yes, you can. I'll take it as well. We're going to rename all of these here very, very soon. Like right now soon. Let's just hope these new miners go straight to mining. Yeah, wonderful. I like it. Alright, rename. Mining hall. This is going to become our production. And very soon what we will do is move all of our miners over to here. I do believe we're going to need to put more 16. No, we'll actually be alright. 12 do we have? I'm going to go ahead and start moving them over now. Maybe. Can we move all of them? Yes, we can. Alright, let's do it. Alright, we just need 2 more seats in the relax room. Not a problem. 1 and 2. Now we do have somebody that's uncomfortable, and they just need about 12 more points. We can go ahead and squeeze that out of here. Our new relax room. Maybe? Oh, I used the ones that require iron. Darn. Not quite there yet. 6 more points. Plenty there, plenty there, plenty there. We need more iron. Come on, iron. Just moving heaters around temporarily to put this room back into good standing as soon as possible. that one never got a third. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Move you back. This is gonna mean another one. And just come on, temp. Go up. This is the only problem that I have found with building a relax room kind of as your hallway. You tend to run out of room, and then of course you're clogging up your hallway. My hallways tend to stay pretty open for the most part. The only thing that tends to go in there is heaters, stairwells, you know, kind of the necessities to traverse through a hallway. But you end up still needing to almost build like a relax room like you would normally. So you're kind of not replacing a room because it's still just one room. I'll need to build like a 2x2 somewhere at some point to put enough comfort in here to supply all 30. Now, of course, when we have more water, that won't be the case, but you know, we don't right now. So early on, this may be a little bit of a hurdle, so to speak, rather than a an added benefit to your building. But yeah, it's still to be determined for me, at least. Not entirely sure how much I like it. Just started doing it, but you know, just a little bit of 2 cents from my limited experience using this for now. So far I haven't dealt with too many pathing issues, but for the most part I don't stay in this screen very long. Alright, there we go. Now we're finally producing enough comfort for them. Go ahead and put this in there just to give us some more points. And now we can go back out into the colony. And look at that, we're still maxing out our batteries. So we are good. Now with the extra mining capacity, we should start producing all of the good stuffs. I really wish I could grab all of those hydrocarbons from over there. Now it's time to build our hospital, which is gonna be really tough right now. Oh wow. If that wasn't that and more of that, I probably would have done this to save our colony right here. But no, that's a terrible contract. We could do one on the moon. Now we do have to remember the problem with this is we have to ship them from there to here. And then the problem with this is we have to ship it from the moon to Earth. So not quite as easy as it seems when you're on the master difficulty and you have to transport it all yourself. Why are 4 things broken? Do we not have somebody doing repairs here? She must be our repair operator. Yup, George. No, hold on. There is no repair operator. Oh boy, I wonder how long that that's been a thing. Take you out of there and put you in there, which... Oh, man. I think I messed up. I think we messed up when we moved her. When we moved Clara up. I misassigned Georgia. Darn it. Alright. Some of the things you know, little tiny mistakes can mean all the difference. One problem that we have right now is we need to create a hospital. And the problem with that is we don't have a lot of resources. We're still, you know, creaking along with that steel. So we're gonna have to make this into something I typically don't use. I don't ever use these 5% blocks. And I know it seems silly because 2% doesn't seem like a whole lot. But it is. It really, really is. That is all the difference. I would be able to get away with one large heater in here if I was able to do this, but unfortunately, I'm going to need 2. And I don't think we can afford to give away any more of that, so... I'm just trying to think, how can we squeeze... more... let's try this. 1, 2, 3. Since we only need to treat space sickness right now. How does that do? 91. How does this do? 146. See? And little things like that can make all the difference. Now, we don't have meds down here, so transitor, you're gonna have to give them up. And we need to hire 2 doctors. El doctor. Now we could use somebody who's a really good therapist, but we don't need 67. You're lazy, I don't take you. Therapist in infectious disease. Do we have anybody that's just a therapist? No. All of you overachievers just getting all this extra certifications and experience. What are you doing with your lives? Making the rest of us look bad, that's what. Alright, we're just gonna get people that... There we go. They'll learn as they go. Just don't tell the people that they're treating. Can I assign 2 doctors here? Yes. Problem is we can't assign everybody into it because we don't have enough... Oh, my brain's not working this morning. Not enough coffee. We don't have enough patient space. That's the word I was looking for. Couldn't think of the word patient. Oh. Whoops. When we made the 2 extra seats, I forgot to assign them back into the relax room. Now it's Georgia that is sick, so we need to get her and her in there. Not hiring anymore. You guys are fully assigned. Temperature of the hospital is rising. And hopefully she Hopefully Georgiana. Hopefully she goes to get treatment. Now being treated for space sickness. Yeah. Alright. Wonderful. 8 days of repairs left. Oh my. What is broken? Oh, yeah. It would be our power grid. Nice. Temperature outside is a negative 101, so turn that off and you can get yourself, squeeze yourself some more power. Of course, we can't go any higher than the 750 capacity that we have right now, but you know, do what you can. So she's now being treated. We now have all of our rooms under control. This is a good time to save. And now, let's hope those aren't something breaking. I don't think they are. Our solar panels and generation hasn't changed. And we're starting to make more resources. Wonderful. Still yet to... We are still not doing bio waste down here, and we need to. Desperately. We have not made enough steel to warrant the ability to be able to do that, so we're just going to have to do what we usually do. Send it on up. And send it on down. Moon trans. Send. Thank you. 2,000. No, that was 0. There we go. 2,000. 22. 39. And... doot. That'll do it. Now, I want to see how much we could sell for nothing. Wonderful. Nice. Because the cargo, or the shipping cost is more than the cargo. So, nuclear jet fuel. Definitely on the list for, does not make money. So all this means is that one repair guy is no longer one maintenance colonist, excuse me, terrible habit. One maintenance colonist is insufficient to maintain our service threshold. We also have Mr. Benjamin, who's uncomfortable on the moon. Wouldn't you kind of expect that, you know? You are on the moon, people. It's not some paradise getaway. There is a lack of gravity and all your basic necessities just inherently due to, you know, where you are. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. I'm kind of running out of room already with the relax room. So, it might be time. It might be time. Problem is, 300 steel is not enough in order to really do the expansion that we need. really what we need to do is get to the point where we can make this and we can start actually pumping in some real amount of resources. Which might be what we have to go do. Let's check. I just need to put one of these down to unlock it. And you see right here, we unlocked the high-tech room. And that's because I've never built a research room on the surface of a planet, so I had to unlock it first. So, let's see. Where can we squeeze this into? Almost nowhere. Is this room empty? It is empty. Do I have another room that I can build over here? I don't. Making sure that that is still good for temperature. I'm gonna knock out this wall and go further out with our relax room. 1, 2, 3. This way I can put apartment and not waste that space right there as like a occupiable room. A dwelling? There we go. Dwelling. That's the English word. Told you guys my brain is not working today. Definitely not enough coffee yet. Now our high-tech room really doesn't need to be too big. All we're trying to do is build nanocomposites. The real problem is going to be making the carbon at this point, because for one, we don't have a carbon press to convert it into, and then also we don't have the biotech down here just yet. That's the other problem. So for now, this is just going to be a no room. And we're going to hurry up and wait a little bit longer. Still need to try to get the transitor a little bit more resources. We have 2 months. Is this thing still trying to make... Are we still making... So we're making the nanocomposites over there. That sucks. I kind of... How much can we sell those for, actually? 400,000? It's terrible. Alright, hurry up and wait a little bit longer. Moon Hub. about 5 million worth of helium-3. And now we only have 2 months left in loan payments if we don't pay everything off. Crunch time. Ooh. A science colony with only 2 physics per day. I think we could do that. That's only about, I would say, 3 physics scientists. And you don't need to do... You don't need to do any sort of extras. I'll show you what I mean, but we're gonna hold on. Oh no. Oh, I think I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. Yeah, we did that again. I might have just killed the colony. I need to bring that temperature down real fast. Like, faster than what we're doing. Burns. Burns and space sickness. So, it's time. Time to upgrade the hospital to a full-fledged hospital. And hope we have the materials for it. This is for treating burns, frostbite, and other related injuries. We're probably going to need about 2 of these surgeons' tables. And let's see, anybody else? Burns, burns, space sickness and burns. All right. That'll have to do. And 1, 2, that. That's all I can do. Ah! Alright. Go out to the mass assign screen. Assign production hall. Everybody. These docs have got their work cut out for them. Now the temperature's back in the norm. We can hopefully get people treated before they're dead. Before they're dead, please. Alright, we gotta hire another doctor. 1, and you know what? We're gonna go with 2. Surgeon and a therapist here are actually a great choice. And let's assign production hall. I hope there's enough. There is. Who is uncomfortable? Nobody's uncomfortable. We're good. Okay. Crisis averted. However, we are still very much lacking electronics, steel, all this good stuff. I need to see how many more spaces we have available. 2. 2 is all that's left, so that's actually kind of perfect. Let's go build our bioprocessing room. No, we're not building our bioprocessing room. We have to wait till daytime. I'm just gonna do a quick save because I'm feeling like we might need it. And then let's go ahead and send out our bio for this run. 2032. Nope, I want you to stay. We're gonna send 2500 down. Uh-oh. Why are we no longer making electronics? There is no reason to be no longer making electronics, so... Okay, we're back to making electronics and losing them. That's got to be repairs doing the electronics. Yeah, it is. And this is exactly what I was talking about how we don't have the... We don't have the maintenance capacity, meaning we don't have enough maintenance workers, maintenance colonists. But we are starting to produce enough. We do have a good amount of steel. I'm going to go ahead and make our bio room. Check our transitor first. Still has some repairs left, so let's make the bio room. That is more important right now. That was a terrible design. That's better. And now what we're going to do here is biology. Sorry, biotech. I'm just going to do a recycler for right now. We're not going to do the water yet. And that's the reason why. So, I know that's going to kill us for the power, or for the temperature. So this could have waited. And really, it should have waited, but we already did it. Something that is still, it's fine. What can't you people get to? Show what's unreachable. Why is that unreachable? That is why. Bet you now you're good. Yeah, you are. See, little pathing issues just like that are created by building the hall like that. So, at some point you are going to need to expand this. I mean, it's kind of a trade-off. You're going to have to build a little extra in your hallway, which is technically your relax room if you use the relax room as your hallway. If you don't, and you stick with hallways, you're still going to have to build a relax room. So you don't really trade size so much as convenience of now I only need to heat one room. versus 2, which would be, you know, the hallway. And then the other thing is so long as that is in the negative, we cannot go out of this view because everybody would just get sick. So we've got to stay in this view to make sure that it doesn't calculate this room across the entire colony. I completely forgot. We can turn all of these off and then burn everybody again. Hey, look at that. Hey, look at that. We're going back up. All right, cool. Cool. Just, again, I've got to remember to turn some of those back on. But I did just notice I pulled a whoopsie. And so this is where our relax room is going to get its extra space. Boom. We will need to put another heater in there as soon as we get more electronics. But can I see inside this room, please? Thank you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. We don't have enough electronics, so we're gonna wait. I can already assign, nope, higher bio. And we need some recyclers. We'll take him. And we'll take, no. Come on, people. You're a slob. Why? We'll take you two. At some point, honestly, what I might do is transfer all of these people to a new colony and then turn this one into our science colony contract. And the reason for that is because this colony is getting a little too what's the word? Obsolete? Inefficient? Definitely inefficient. What is freezing? Oh, great. Great. Oh, man. Just doing stuff and things that are not great right now. Still not doing enough. That's... oh boy. This might not be good. It might not be good. And this is really the problem with building in the 5% blocks, is because that 2% really would have saved us right here. But we're gonna keep playing it. Keep it going. Come on, electronics. Where's our electronics? Where are you, electronics? I'm gonna send them from here because we need them, like meow. And then of course we have somebody who's uncomfortable on the moon. Of course you are. Why? Why are you so uncomfortable? Are you... you're my repairs. That's why. Maybe we could unassign you. Yeah, we're gonna do that. we're going to do that. And then what we're going to do is hire a repair for this specifically. We'll get Luca. And the reason why we're going to do that is the current maintenance one has more in production skill than anything, and I want to try to keep all of the skills as low as possible so their maintenance or their comfort is easier to maintain. They don't have a bed. I need to make them a bed. And I don't think I can make them a bed because I don't have the electronic components. Alright, we do. We do have the electronic components. So let's assign that, assign that. Now we're good. Except for comfort. Why are we so uncomfortable? Perfect. There we go. Still not good in here, so plop down another one of those. That should take care of that. That should take care of that. That should take care of that. I'm gonna do a large heater in here. Pop that back up. This temperature is rising. And I'm really hoping to get back out into the solar system view so we can actually start getting production values going a little bit better. Especially now that we are processing hydrocarbons and everything down here. I want to get carbon going. Let's see if we can actually create. Yes! That's the last piece of the puzzle there. 1 and 2. Awesome. That should cover us for daytime. Let's go out. We're going to hurry it up and go to our warehouse parameters. We're going to drop our... Yeah, we're already making some. Looky. We still need to keep a little bit for the lithographics, so we're going to put this down to 200. We're going to put this consumption down to 200. We're going to do 150 here. We want to produce 1,000. And then we need to put the limit on this to 150. And then we're going to make 1,000. Now for something else. 1, 2, burning. Nope, that's all set up. Now we gotta remember we're not processing water yet. Frostbite and burns. Space sickness, frostbite and burns. Are you people okay? We're not processing our water yet. I don't know how we just slipped into this deficit. Alright, now we should be good. Perfect. Battery generation. Let's go back out. That gives us all the power we need. Now is a good time to check our transitor. 32 days. Oh my gosh, we're still dealing with What is happening over here? I don't think I've ever had so much trouble. What is low? Oh, frozen. It's the shower room. Because we stole these and never put them back. Okay. Good now? Good over here? We're good. Hooray! Check our Earth orbital. Food's okay. We're all good over here. Starting to make resources. We do need to start probably doing that colony contract for the science soon. We're coming up on our next payment. We're not going to have any money. We need to make that other 120 to get more. 10 months left. 320 million on our payments there. 150 there. And I think that's all we have. So yeah, we really do need to do this science contract. Let's put a colony down. Sunset is in about 12 hours. Sunrise in 12 hours. Perfect. Moon sigh. Just kidding. Alright, not enough electronic components. Transitor? I don't think the transitor has enough electronic components. We're gonna do this. No. Okay, we need 1 and 1. And all I'm doing here is getting the power grid going. And I know it's going to take maintenance, but it's not going to take enough. Or at least it's just going to get enough battery capacity, and then I can delete and remake the solar panel. I really just want the power there, stored, ready to go. I'm hoping the hub can start making enough polymers and all that good stuff. Polymers are going up. Electronics should be going up soon. We're going to send out the 4600 water to the moon transit. Drop this down to 400 so we can start making electronics. And you see our polymers are still kind of slightly going up, so we're good there. I'm going to send 3521 back down to the moon hub. Insufficient comfort. Why? Because you're my repair and maintenance production person. We just got our polymers. I'm not trying to do a whole lot of polymers, but we need to get her back up and running. 12. Where are you? 78. Alright, there we go. Need to keep these electronics going. I know it doesn't need to be a huge colony, but it needs to be enough down there in order to put at least a 3-man science. And that also means putting, especially I think this is physics. Yeah, it's physics. So that requires, I believe, stuff we don't have yet. I think that requires the uranium, the processed uranium, or it might just require transuranic elements. I'm not entirely sure. And 100 electronics is not enough to start building a science colony over there. So this is probably going to wait until the next day cycle. We are really going to be cutting it close with our money, but I definitely think that we can get it done before before next month. The other thing that we can look at is we have 1,000. I don't want to send it. I want to sell it. Only 11 million. So, I mean, it gives us some money. It's not a lot. Remind you that we're not producing any more than 22 an hour. So, not great numbers. She's going to be a pain in the butt. She is going to be a pain. I can already know it. I've got to find a way to not do polymers down here. Here we go. 2. That should do it. At least for a little bit longer. Let's check our foods. They're okay for right now. Not terrible, not great. Polymers are just not doing too good. Send these down to get a little boost. That did boost us up just quite a bit, just enough to keep going with those electronics. Let's see. 2 research points a day. Let's try this. Remove. No. Clear the cart. Send. Moon science. And do 150. I don't think we can do this. I don't think we can. 2,000, 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, 1,000. Let's do that. Let's try this. And since we just need a decent research colony here, I'm gonna try to just do this because I think we can get away with 3 scientists. So we might be able to get away with this small of a building. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. One. Alright, let's see how much that is. That is... So, Moon Hub, send from cart, get rid of all of that. No, get rid of 0, thank you. We don't need this, don't need this. Send, yeah, let's send the rest. Let's see if this will work. Are you coming, ship? There you are. Now, I did just realize we need the potty and the showers. Okay. Now once I can do doors and all that good stuff, I might be able to start bringing in the colonists. We're going to do that. That should work. Let's move you to here, right there. Thank you. Disease. There we go. Now we have yet to put down anything here. We have 11. Let's do... One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. also just realized they don't have a canteen. Alright. Moon science colony awaits. Let's hire physicists only. Not too worried about Wayward. I am worried about a 48 comfort. That's our research team. Hire. Save. Just in case. Assign staff. Okay, everyone's good. Let's see our comfort buffer that we have. It's a decent one. So I'm not too worried about sending all of our resources that we don't need back. And then we just watch our science to see that it goes to 2 points. That's all we need. 2 measly points per day. And then, of course, there's someone who is uncomfortable over here again. Let's go deal with that. And we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're just going to plop down some of these, and that'll put us right back up above the threshold that we need for a little bit longer. Now, I was going to say, why are you hungry? We gave you guys rations. Once they train up a little bit, we should be good. About 5% of the way to our goal, and we're growing steadily. Let's just hope the colony holds out long enough for us to... Uh-oh. Did we run out of steel up here? We did. The transitor has run out of steel. Let's send resources up, because now we're finally making some. We do need to get into optics soon. Very, very, very soon. We're doing okay so far now. Temperature in the colony, that's because we've gone into our night cycle. So what we need to do is just turn on all of these, turn on all of that, turn off you, and turn that on. I'm hoping I don't have to worry about the server room. I think I might. which is a tad of a problem because we don't have anything to make. We will do 2. And again, we really want to get back out into the solar system view, because that's where we're going to make our most. You see our points aren't really going up too much. And if you're wondering how I'm switching between these on the side, these panels on the side, I'm using my number buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you can easily quick select all of your stations ones. The only one that doesn't do anything is 0 and 9. 9 clears what you're selecting. Alright, so we were good with just one of these, and we'll turn one of these off just for power-wise. And hopefully we can turn this contract in before it becomes any more of a problem. And dealing with more comfort issues. It's Patricia. You're gonna have to learn one of these days. This is the moon here. Damn it. About a quarter of the way there. None of them really have a whole lot of experience yet. Almost halfway. And we're still doing good on our scientific equipment and computing server percentages. Even when all 3 of them are working, we're at about 200%. I'm hoping that can hold out. Keep going. We're about to get above 1. It's fantastic. We need just 2 points, and then we can pause, select the colony as... Oh, okay. No. We need to do the autosave. I can't save the colony from that. That would be shipping them out. That would also be making a entire... It would also mean making an entire hospital on that colony. No way we can afford it. Okay, we're back here. What are you doing? You barely crossed the 1.1%. So we are in the night. No longer need... Yep, we still do need you. We still haven't sent this here yet. Let's send one over. Alright, now we just need to keep a closer eye on this colony because it is going to be problematic. Alright, there we go. That'll be enough time for right now. And we're just gonna hurry up and wait for these people to learn on the job. Learn faster. We could... No, we actually can't, because we don't have the scientists over here on the moon. have a mod that I have made and that would help in this situation. It is the school mod, where if you build a school, assign a high trained colonist. Assign a high trained colonist to the, a high trained scientist to be the professor at the school, and then they can train all of the students enrolled to basically their skill level across all skills. So like a physicist can teach miners in whatever you want. But again, this really does kind of put your comfort out of control. So you've got to keep an eye on that for sure. Temperature for the nighttime has started to drop, so we're going to get rid of that and start turning on all of our heaters and whatnot. So no way. No way. Okay, so if I get rid of this right here, we're in the 100%. So, all right. I think that was the one room that I forgot to do, was the canteen. I never turned the heater back on in there, and that's why it got so cold that it almost killed everybody. So, back to good. Let's hope this is it. We really need that contract. We have 16 days, 17 days till we pay our last payment that we can actually make. But yeah, I don't think we'll be getting all of our, goals that we set out to do today done. Definitely not going to be repaying the loan entirely. Not all of our loans, that's for sure. We did not get our helium production up and running, to where it should be to really maintain our colony. But so long as we could get this science colony turned in and paid for, then we should be all right. Yeah, we should absolutely be all right as long as we can turn this contract in the next 30 to 40 days, which it should be. I don't know why we are starting to get low. What room is starting to get too low in temperature? All of them. So this is a problem in design itself. I doubt this is going to work. I'm going to try to exploit mechanics of the game. $260. Wonderful. Can I move you out? We're now at 260, 120. No. Alright, I'm gonna see if we can get away with not tracking that temperature on this. And hopefully our people don't get sick from it. They shouldn't. It's a server room, nobody's supposed to go in there, and hell, it's supposed to be cold. That's how you keep your things running at peak efficiency. Please go up to 2 points. Please. I beg of you. We're very close. Very, 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 very close. I'm just hoping we don't need to send any more resources over. Come come on, come on, come on, come on, go. Go. Alright, so it is confirmed. These guys would have been frozen by now if we had to track the server room as well. So server rooms are also something just like the power plant that you don't have to actually keep heated and temperature controlled in order to keep your colonists safe. And we're so close. As soon as it hits 2, we're pausing. And then we're going to turn this in. 2 points. Come on, physics. 2 points, baby. 2 points. Bam. All right. Colony contract. Reset. Go down. Yes, I do. And bam. Science contract complete. Now. Okay, good. In fact, what that did is that made us get paid a little bit more for our helium. So 20 million. And we're good for our money for just a wee bit longer. That is 100. I didn't want to take that loan. I thought I was repaying a loan. I didn't want to do that. Crap. And over 3 months, that's going to kill us. Well, that is the problem for next episode. Don't always leave off in a great spot, but cliffhanger. Will we die? To be found out in the next one. Happy colonizing. Hopefully you do a little bit better, if not a lot better, than what we just did in the last couple of hours. Best of luck. Hopefully this is at least one of those episodes where you have a true reason or a true example of what not to do. See y'all in the next one.